So there's a long, long history of our community already being targeted by the psychological and medical establishment. And so this trans movement is kind of like the culmination of how they brilliantly figured out how to take homosexuals and bisexuals and turn them into fake straight people by transing them. Because that really essentially is what I think part of the initial goal was. Because if you have a woman, a lesbian couple, let's say, and you get convince one of them that she's born in the wrong body and she would be better off if she just lived as a man or looked like a man, well, now that couple looks straight. Right? They look like a straight couple. Oh, okay. So we've seen this like erasure in our community because so many people fell for this. And so like, just looking at the history of how the medical establishment has portrayed homosexuals, has dealt with homosexuals, and I'm including psychiatry in that because that is part of the medical field. And so, we've been a target for them. And this is just the latest incarnate of being targeted by these industries. And so going, back to Belissa's earlier point is if they can sell this lie that you could be born in the wrong body, or explain your distress or your discomfort in your body, or the fact that it might be uncomfortable to be homosexual or bisexual in this society. If you can sell the lie that, oh, it's because you're born in the wrong body, well, what's the solution then? Oh, medicalizing, that's the solution. And so the more people who buy the lie, the more money they make.
Mm-hmm. And we also, everybody talks about conversion therapy. It's so wrong. You cannot do this psychological abuse by talking to people about their sexuality. And that's the old-fashioned conversion therapy. This new transgenderism is 21st century conversion therapy, where you medically trans the gay away. And we also call it gay eugenics because it's a way of sterilizing the gay people and getting them enabled to be reproduced, very much like the 20th century eugenics movement, which was also seen as extremely progressive and extremely forward-thinking. And all these kind of rich, famous public figures were on board with eugenics in the 20th century. They sterilized about 80,000 people in the U.S., most of them in California, which was the most progressive state, of course. Mm-hmm. And this is where transgenderism is kind of coming from, is California. So, at the time they sterilized a lot of Black women, they sterilized Indigenous women, but they also, because homosexuality until 1973 was classed as a mental illness, they sterilized a lot of mental defectives. A lot of homosexuals and lesbians were also sterilized during that period of time because they fell under defective people and the mentally ill. So so this kind of conversion therapy is like instead of dealing with people's psychology, now they're changing their bodies to fit their personalities. And how is that an improvement?
It's not.